Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Mothers, how are you guys doing? Parents, how are you doing? It has not been easy, I know. You watching this video means you are searching for help for your child. You need answers. Trust me, I understand the struggle. And let me tell you, you can do it most definitely. And I also want to say that that guilt that you feel, maybe you are blaming yourself that your child cannot talk or communicate. It's okay to feel like that, but then I need you to stop blaming yourself, because you are a nice parent, you are a good parent. Do not blame yourself that much. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, you're welcome. My name is Gloria. I am a boy mom of 2, and do want to subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Let's dive right in. We are going to be looking at the difference between Miss Rachel, yes, the popular Miss Rachel, and original speech therapist. Yes, I have experienced both. I have experienced a real therapist, and I've also seen some of Miss Rachel's video. There is a misconception out there that Miss Rachel can make your child speak. I'm like, okay, what do I know? But then I'm going to open your eyes to see the things that a real speech therapist can do that Miss Rachel is not doing, or she's not applying to her video. You know, in most cases, people will tell you when your child is not speaking, they'll tell you, go and watch Miss Rachel, she will help you. But then again, that's a lie. Miss Rachel is just another TV show for children. With adults, of course, it is less stimulating. Let me not lie. This is not me coming for her. But you cannot compare her and rely solely on Miss Rachel when a child is speech delayed. When a child is not communicating, the first thing you need to do is to take that child for evaluation, to assess that child and see where the problem is coming from. Like I said in my previous video, speech delay can be associated to other things like ADHD and autism. So when you don't get that child to a doctor, you can never really tell what the problem is. And if you say, okay, it is just the speech delay, let me rely solely on Miss Rachel cannot come out from the TV to assess your child. No. So that's why you need to seek professional help before you rely solely on Miss Rachel. Another thing, when a child is speech delay, you would need to eliminate screen time totally. So how then do you go about to put Miss Rachel for the same child that we want you to eliminate the screen time? Children from the age 0 to 2 years are not even supposed to have TV or screen time. 2 to 5 years are supposed to watch approximately 30 minutes. Now, when you put on Miss Rachel videos are always long. Example, she has a video of 2 hours and 30 minutes, 1 hour and 30 minutes. So how long are you allowing that same child to watch Miss Rachel for? Are you allowing the child to watch for 30 minutes, or you allow the child to watch the whole thing? If the child is watching the whole thing, that means that child can be watching, maybe watching approximately for 2 hours or 1 hour, 30 minutes, which is not healthy for a child with speech delay. So what do? You take that child for professional help. Miss Rachel cannot help you. Miss Rachel herself is not a speech therapist. Yes, her videos are nice. Yes, her method is less stimulating if you want to compare it to other programs. Miss Rachel cannot help a child with speech delay. I reached out to a therapist online that I follow. I have communicated with her in the past when I had issues with my son. And then I took permission for me to repost some of her works that she does all of these Instagram reels on Instagram. So I compiled some of her works together, and I wanted to show you guys so that you can see the difference between Miss Rachel and a real life speech therapist. They are not the same. I need you to watch this video that I compiled together and edited from the speech therapist herself. Then you will open your eyes to see. After watching the video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because that huge misconception about Miss Rachel, it doesn't work that way. Please, it doesn't work that way. Here is the video. Let's watch and see.
I'm a speech therapist here to clarify misinformation about toddler communication. This is true. 90% of toddlers say or sign at least 50 words by their 2nd birthday. This is a really important milestone. And if your child hasn't reached this milestone, it's not because they're bilingual, it's not because they're a boy, and it's not because they're stubborn. And most important of all, it is not because you're a bad parent. A lot of kids who aren't meeting their milestones end up catching up, but a lot of them also don't, so we don't know which one is going to be which. This is why it is so important to be proactive about your child's language skills. You can totally reach out to a speech therapist to help explaining your child's language delay to someone. Send them this video. I'm Marissa, I'm a pediatric speech therapist, and I have worked with hundreds of kids with language delays. So often kids with language delays are completely misunderstood, so I want to clarify with these 3 major areas. 1, you may give the child a direction, but it's going to be really difficult for them to follow through on it. It's not because they're being stubborn or they're disrespectful, it's because they don't yet have the comprehension skills to be able to do what you're asking them to do. Assume the best intentions of them and just try to get them to understand in a different way using gestures, sounds, or a play-based approach. 2, if they're dysregulated, then using their words is going to be even harder. This is what dysregulated means. So if you notice your child feeling this way, then maybe help them get to a more regulated state, and then they might be able to communicate with you better. If they were able to communicate something yesterday but not be able to communicate it today, that's probably what's going on. When you're trying to teach them to communicate, don't ask a lot of questions. Replace those with comments. Does your toddler lead you to what they want instead of using words? What does this mean and what can we do about it? When parents make this one change, we see their kids able to communicate so much more effectively. When a child guides you to things without using words, it typically means that their cognitive skills have exceeded their language ability. To some, this seems counterintuitive, but actually, we want to expose them to different ways of communication other than just speaking alone. By using gestures, sign language, and alternative modes of communication, they can thrive with their language skills. And none of these things prevent them from learning to talk. In fact, it's the opposite. It helps them learn to talk. I'm a speech language pathologist who's fluent in American Sign Language, here to give you expert tips in toddler communication. If you've been told that you shouldn't use sign language or shouldn't expose your child to multiple languages, or you should just wait and see if your child happens to meet their language milestone, this is all really bad advice. This is the biggest mistake that I see from adults trying to get toddlers to talk. This is a really hot take, so let me explain first, and then I'm going to talk about my mindset shift that changed the way I do speech therapy and got me so much better results when working with toddlers. Adults will use flashcards with toddlers thinking that's what's going to help them talk. Most people think that we learn talking through memorization. This is the key instead. Toddlers learn language through modeling in everyday interactions. Can you spot the difference in these 2 things? Ball. Say ball. This approach doesn't teach true communication, it's just labeling and drilling. You might notice with this approach that your child only responds when prompted, or only whenever they're given a reward, or maybe not even at all. I want to play with the ball. Where's the ball? This approach is true communication. It isn't taught, it's just experienced. I'm saying the word ball multiple times, but in a conversation and during play. I'm commenting, maybe requesting, asking questions that I don't already know the answer to. Learning through play is so important, especially with real items instead of flashcards. That is what we call modeling, and it is exponentially faster at getting kids to learn language than drilling. This is the mindset shift that changed the way that I do speech therapy. Learning to communicate is not a test, it's a conversation. If your toddler isn't talking yet, these 3 things can help. The last has been a game changer for the families I've worked with as a speech therapist. Add single sounds like into your play because they're easier to imitate than words. Listen to her imitate. I also add in gestures and signs like clapping or signing help because signing doesn't delay speech, it actually helps your child talk faster. And here's the biggest hack. You can use so many quality words when you pretend to struggle to open something. It helps kids gain independence and gives you opportunities to use more words. Look at how she's imitating that sound.
Building language with potato heads. Label body parts on potato, your child, and yourself. Use action words like push and pull. Make potato jump, dance, and give her a hug. Have a tea party. Drink and eat. Don't forget to give them a bath, wash, and tuck them in. Night-night, potato.
I'm about to give you some tips that will change the way you talk to toddlers forever. The last one is one of the biggest tricks that I use as a speech therapist to get them to follow directions better. Tip number 1, use gestures. Whenever kids are not able to talk yet, they may be able to imitate a gesture, and that helps their communication skills. Number 2, pause at seemingly random times just to build anticipation in your interaction with the toddler. For example, the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. When giving a direction to a toddler, use very concrete vocabulary. and reduce the grammatical complexity of what you're saying. Sometimes parents give directions like, go get the toy that's under the table, without knowing that certain prepositions like under don't develop until age 3. They may say, don't wave that toy in the air, but the concept of waving something in the air is very abstract compared to saying, toy on the ground. They might understand that better.
Does your child have a book like this and you're not sure what to do other than label the pictures? Give sticky notes a try. Cover the pictures with the notes. Where's the duck? Lift up. Say hi to the animals. Hi, duck. Who says moo? I wonder. Oh, lift up. Hi, cow. Cow says moo.
So now that you have seen the difference between a real-life speech therapist and Ms. Rachel, I hope you can tell the difference. There is a huge difference. Let me promise you, there is a huge difference. For those of you that have not been to a therapist before, there is a huge difference. You can go ahead and watch Ms. Rachel's video and also use it to compare this therapist video that I have shown you. Then you notice that it is not the same. So thank you so much for watching. As usual, you guys know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Till then, remember blessed and receive. Bye bye.